Your cat won't stop scratching, he licks his paws until they are raw, rubs against everything with desperation, and already has bald spots and scabs on the neck and face. Or maybe, in addition to that, he vomits with a frequency that makes you concerned and has diarrhea that won't go away with anything. You've tried everything, pipettes, litter changes, thorough cleaning, but the problem is still there, and with it your frustration and concern grow every day. What if I told you that the culprit could literally be in your cat's food bowl? We could be talking about a food allergy, one of the most frustrating conditions, misunderstood and difficult to diagnose in cats. And no, it is not a simple annoyance. For your cat, it is a daily battle. In this video, I am going to give you that guide that your vet would want you to see, a clear and direct explanation about what food allergy is, how it manifests, and most importantly, the exact steps you should follow so that your cat finally regains its well-being. Let's first clarify a key point because this is where all the confusion begins. A food allergy is not the same as an intolerance. An intolerance, such as lactose intolerance, is a digestive problem. The body cannot process an ingredient properly, and that's it. An allergy, on the other hand, is a war. It's an overreaction of the immune system. This means that the defense army of your cat mistakenly identifies a totally normal ingredient, as if it were a dangerous invader, and launches a disproportionate attack against it. And what is the number one enemy in this war? Proteins. In the vast majority of cases, the allergic reaction in cats is against a protein, which they have eaten for years without issue. For reasons we still don't fully understand, one day the immune system decides that this protein, for example chicken or fish, is no longer welcome. From there, every time the cat eats that food, its defenses activate and release a cocktail of inflammatory substances, including histamine, that cause the symptoms you are seeing. It is crucial to understand this. Intolerance is a mechanical failure of the digestive system. Allergy is an uncontrolled response of the immune system. Therefore, the symptoms can be so varied and affect the skin, not just the stomach. Although symptoms vary, there is an absolute protagonist in feline food allergy: itching, or as we call it in veterinary medicine, pruritus. However, itching in a cat is not always frantic scratching. Look at the entire context. Itching is a set of behaviors. Excessive licking, especially on the legs, crusted sores, rubbing its face, rubbing its neck against anything, or even tearing out its hair, leaving bald areas. This itching is persistent and, very important, it is not seasonal. Unlike pollen allergy, which gets worse in spring, food allergies are a nuisance all year round because the allergen is in everyday food. The location of the itch also gives clues. If it concentrates very intensely on the head and neck, it is very likely that the cause is in the food bowl. In addition to skin problems ranging from redness to infections caused by the scratching itself, a significant percentage of cats, which according to studies can range from 10 to over 30%, they also have gastrointestinal signs. We are talking about chronic vomiting, diarrhea, or both. If your cat has constant itching and, in addition, recurrent digestive problems, the suspicion of a food allergy becomes very strong. Here's a key piece of information. Allergy can appear at any age. It doesn't matter if your cat is 1 year old or 10, and it doesn't matter if it has been eating the same kibble all its life. Sensitization to a protein can occur at any time. So, what proteins tend to be the villains in our story? The clinical experience and studies almost always point to the same suspects, the most common ingredients in food for cats. The proteins that cause the most allergies are beef, fish, and chicken. Less frequently, dairy products, lamb, or cereals such as corn are added to this list. Think about it for a second. Most kibble and canned foods on the market use these proteins. It's not that they are bad. On the contrary, they are very nutritious. The problem is overexposure. Throughout its life, a normal cat has been exposed to the same proteins over and over again, which increases the probability that its immune system will eventually declare war on them. It is much less common for the allergy to be due to additives or preservatives, even though they get a bad reputation. In the clinic, the vast majority of the time, the problem is the main source of protein. Therefore, when we suspect an allergy, we don't think about a colorant, but whether the cat eats chicken or fish kibble. We come to the most important point, and often the most difficult, the diagnosis. And I want to be absolutely clear with this. As of today, there is no blood test or skin test that can reliably diagnose a food allergy in a cat. they are simply not reliable for this purpose. The only method we consider is what we call the gold standard, the only definitive test, an elimination diet. What does it consist of? It consists of completely removing from your cat's diet all proteins to which it has been exposed and giving it food that its immune system does not recognize. This process takes at least 2 to 3 months. Yes, you heard right, 2 to 3 months. During this time, the goal is for the body to reset itself. By eliminating the allergen, the inflammation should go down, and with it the symptoms. The itching should reduce or disappear, and the digestive problems should decrease. However, if the allergen is reintroduced, the digestive problems will reappear. To do this, your vet will recommend one of these 2 options: a novel protein diet, a food made with a source of protein and carbohydrates that your cat has never tried. For example, if your cat has always eaten chicken and fish, a rabbit diet could be used, duck, or even kangaroo. The key is to find a truly new protein, thoroughly reviewing everything it has eaten before, or a hydrolyzed protein diet. This is usually one of the most reliable and effective options. In these diets, the protein has been broken down into pieces so small that the immune system no longer recognizes it as a threat. It's like the protein disguises itself to go unnoticed under the radar of the defenses. The choice between one and the other depends on your cat's history and the judgment of your veterinarian. The elimination diet is done at home, and its success or failure depends almost 100% on you. It must be followed absolutely strictly. A single cookie, a piece of ham, or something that falls on the ground can reactivate the allergy and ruin weeks of effort, forcing you to start from scratch. During those 8 to 12 weeks, your cat eats exclusively the elimination diet and nothing more. This means eliminating treats and snacks. Anything, regardless of whether the bag says hypoallergenic, if not approved by your veterinarian, is prohibited. Human food scraps, not a crumb, not a drop of milk. Your house should be a temptation-free zone. Food from other animals. If you have more pets, you have to make sure that the allergic cat cannot steal food from them. Feed them in separate rooms if necessary. Flavored medications. Many pills or syrups contain meat flavoring. Talk to your vet to look for alternatives. Edible toys or toothpaste for cats. Check their composition. You would be surprised. Become an ingredient detective. Read each label, and if in doubt, don't give it to him, her. And be honest with your vet if there has been any slip-up. Only if the test is perfect will the result be reliable. If after 8 to 12 weeks of a strict diet, your cat's symptoms have improved greatly or have disappeared, congratulations. It's a fantastic sign, but the diagnosis is not yet 100% confirmed. It could be a coincidence. To be sure that the improvement was due to the diet, you have to take the last step, a provocation test. Under veterinary supervision, importantly, you will give him his old food again. If in a few days or up to 2 weeks the itching, vomiting, or diarrhea returns, you will have confirmed it. It's a food allergy. Once confirmed, resume the diet. Elimination until symptoms subside. From there, you can start a more methodical process, reintroducing proteins one by one to identify exactly which ingredient is the culprit. This step is key to choosing the best diet for the rest of its life. The main treatment for food allergy is simple in theory, but it requires a lifelong commitment, avoiding the allergen. Once identified, the goal is to find a balanced diet that does not contain it. The good news is that the prognosis is usually very good as long as the diet is maintained. In some cases, especially at the beginning during a crisis, the vet can prescribe medication to control symptoms and give immediate relief to the cat, such as drugs to reduce itching and inflammation. However, these are temporary steps. The long-term solution is always the diet. This process can be long and frustrating, but it is the only way to give your cat a life without itching or pain. If this video has helped you, subscribe for more clear and science-based feline health guides. And tell me in the comments, have you gone through an elimination diet with your cat? Your experience can be of great help to others who are starting. If your cat lives with chronic itching, skin lesions, or digestive problems, food allergy has to be on the list of suspects. Stay with the key message. It is a reaction of the immune system to common proteins, and the only reliable diagnosis is a strict elimination diet followed by a provocation. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It requires patience, discipline, and teamwork with your veterinarian. But seeing your cat finally calm, with its skin healthy and enjoying life without discomfort is the best reward. All the best.